Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and it's a warm welcome. You apparently have encountered CPS, as most of us have, and you've countered the bad one of CPS. And that's why you're in this room. You found me on Facebook. I have 2 live streams I do a day. My morning one is called Fight CPS with Bob Pace. And it's on 10 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday. On the weekends, it's on at 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday and Sunday. Then every night of the week, it's on again a second time. Tonight, Fight CPS, Stop Taking Our Children. Again, is on 7 days a week, every night of the week at 7 p.m. Those times I'm giving you are Pacific Standard Times. That means I'm on the west coast of California, south of Los Angeles, broadcasting from Surf City, USA, 3 blocks to the beach. Anyway, it's a warm welcome, and I know that you've encountered the Child Protection Agency and it hasn't gone right for you. They've taken your children when they're safe. You know, they're not supposed to take your children, but they do. And it's a 50-50 shot you're with a rogue CPS, somebody that's gone bad. It's a $1 trillion business. They give billions to states, who in turn gives millions to counties. And the counties pay themselves bonuses and all this money because they are taking our children. Every time they grab one of our childs, they get a number from the state, and that means they're entitled to money, compensation to take care of those children. Doesn't mean you're paying for it, but a long way you kind of are. It's sad what has happened with that agency. But they get $20,000 per child per month just to keep them in their custody. They get additional $35,000 for every child they adopt into foster care. That's ridiculous. And if the child is special needs, they get additional $15,000. All that is ludicrous. That's way too much money. They're supposed to help. The agency was created in 2006, in 1962, because Congress wanted to protect our children. So they ordered the CPS to create a group of social workers. Hi, Anna. Glad to see you. How was your eye doctor appointment? All right. I look forward to having you, Anna. Welcome to my live stream. Anna is from Florida. She's a former foster child. She didn't get, as a child, when she turned 18, her record's clear, so CPS followed her into her adult life, has taken away her children. It's really sad what has happened. Hi, Aaron. Welcome. Aaron is from Tennessee. She has lost her Children's. She had a termination of her parental rights. She paid $16,000 for an attorney who did nothing. Oh dear, Anna. Oh no, you never got your eye appointment. Oh, that is terrible. Did your boyfriend knew that you had an eye doctor appointment? Hello, Megan Tabitha. Welcome to my live stream. Have you been on before, Megan and Taba? I do not know where you're from. Classical Mommy is from Georgia. Aaron's from Tennessee. Anna's from Florida. It's a warm welcome tonight. There are many ways you can interact with this live stream. You can text a message to me. Just follow the directions on my banner on the page. Also, if you're from the United States, don't worry about listening to your country. I know all the states in the U.S. That's for the 22 other countries that call in here. That's right. I have 22 countries, with the U.S. is 23. I've heard from Indonesia, Bangladesh, India, then up to the Middle East, Saudi Arabia and Libya, then over to the continent of Africa, to Liberia, to Sudan, to Republic of Congo, to Rwanda, to Mozambique, and then all the provinces of South Africa. Then up to Europe, United Kingdom, England, Scotland, and Wales, and also Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond to North America, I hear from Canada and its provinces, and of course the United States and its all 50 states, including the Washington, D.C. District of Columbia. Then south of the border, I've heard from Mexico. Further south in South America, north of Brazil, on the East Coast, Grenada. Then across the South Pacific to New Zealand, and then to the land down under Australia and its states. So I've had approximately 2,500 people that have either texted in or called in. I've had a sweet lady named Leica from South Africa, country code 47. Another sweet mom from England, country code 44. So I am open to everybody in the world that has a CPS case. Now, what I call the child protection system, it's a system. And every county it has different names, every state, every country will have different names. So instead of making it complicated, I just use CPS. So you may have the Department of Children and Family Services, or Department of Children's Services, or Child Protection Services, or the Cabinet. There's so many different names. So I just say CPS and you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, besides texting a message, you can be on my show as a guest. I can take up to 9 of you as a guest. All you have to do is contact my show producer, Grace. I put it up on the banner. There's her email. You just pick one of my 14 shows. Just say I want to be in Bob's Sunday morning show, or Bob's Friday night show, or Bob Wednesday morning show. That's all you do. And she'll send you a link. We use StreamYard, a software application that uses YouTube to transmit what I'm talking about. And once you get that link, you copy and paste in your browser. If you get knocked off, copy and paste again. It's good for the whole show. And if you're on there, then that would be great. And I can take up 9 of you on there. With me, it makes 10. Now, she'll send you the link. You just copy and paste. She'll overgo the rules too, like There's no profanity, and there's no food or eating on the live stream, or smoking, I should say. And further, on the live stream, we do not talk about the names of children, judges, or social workers. Now, I'm going to put my phone number up. It's 626-698-0990. That way you can call me live. I am live. Make sure that my phone, I use a internet application for a phone for the company. So let me make sure. Okay, we have some calls. Okay, we have 2 messages.
Yes, I was just calling about some grandchildren of mine that was taken from their parents in Missouri. I can be reached at 307 431 1688. I do have a couple of questions for you. Thank you.
Okay, let me try to get a hold of the person that called in. Yes, Bartley, I do know about the new law, and that's really good that you found. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Bartley. I'm going to call Missouri and talk to the person that has questions about her grandchildren. Hello, Cruella. Thank you for being here. Yes, I am. I am doing calls, Anna. I love to hear from you. I love to hear from you, Anna. Yeah, hello. I had a call from you that said you had some grandchildren you wanted to talk about. This is Bob Pace on my live stream. Hello. Hello. This is Bob Pace with the live stream. You had called me about asking me some questions. I have a live stream where I talk about the child protection system. I love to have you call me. You can call me at 626-698-0990. I look forward to your call. Thank you. Wow. Sometimes people are so strange. They talk to you that they want to talk to you, and then you call them, and then I hear some grumble in the background. They saying, "Why did I call?" And I just don't understand. Just return a phone call. Again, Megan, what part of the country are you from? You can text this number. I get Texas. Good evening and welcome to my live stream. This is Bob Pace. Who'd I have the pleasure of talking to? Patrick. The last name is what? Hessen. Patrick Hessen. What part of the world are you from?
And DCS held them back, and we went to court last Tuesday, they let our daughter read the letters, and the judge threatened to put us in jail, like it was, he said, what do you mean, like, you're not, what, you don't know the difference in no contact or nothing like this? We didn't really know what she was talking about. And then we told her, I said, we had, before we could send any letters, we had to send them to DCS to let them proofread. And once they proofread them, they would let Carly, but they didn't. They held them back. Then they let her read them. Then they was trying to say that we was trying to contact her. So, and I'm trying to get my lawyer. He said that we wasn't even getting the credit that what we've done. We've done class after class, drug tests have been passed. And he said, I don't know. I just can't find this.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I got someone call me. I'll be right back with you. Hello, and who do I have the pleasure of you calling in? Okay, Shamali, I'd love to talk to you, but at the moment I'm talking to Patrick Hessen from Tennessee. Can you call me back in a few minutes? Okay, can you call me back? All right, thank you. Are you still there, Rick? Or Patrick? Patrick, you still there? Right. Go on. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I had a lady call me from Idaho.
Juvenile judge. She hears everything but the big court, criminal court. They bring in another judge. So I asked my lawyer to petition to try to get her moved and get a juvenile judge, because this judge is like a rogue judge. She is, I don't know, my lawyer gave up. He just said, you don't get you guys ain't even getting the recognition that whatever that Johnson's done. She almost tried to put us in jail, trying to say we contacted her kid by writing letters. But what they done, the letters are a year old, and DCS proofreads them, and they just let my daughter read the letters. Then somehow she come in the courtroom. First thing she said, what don't you? I meant no contact. They're trying to dot my daughter out. This has been going on 5 years. We've been fighting this for 5 years. We've done class after class. Now they dropped the charges, and they said now it's starting all over. But what they're trying to do is give these foster parents time to adopt them.
Well, are these your biological children? Are you the father?
Yes.
Okay, and what about the mother? Is she involved? Now, you two, have you had a safety plan? Are you the beginning of your case, or how long has the case been going on? Oh, so you're well into your case. Has the safety plan been to do family reunification?
But they have let the foster parents take her to Alaska, out of the state, Canada, all on cruises, and they said they was building a new house, but that way she would have her own room, and that ain't showing a kid luxury. I don't know what it is, but this judge came right in and just almost tried to put us in jail, which it was DCS's fault. They should have stood up and said, "Hey, we're the one to let her read the letters because we sent the letters to DCS." But this judge has been like this throughout the case, and she said, "I will not remove myself." And so I don't know how can I get this judge removed.
Well, you can get a judge removed.
I told my lawyer I'd like to get a juvenile judge because she's she is a judge that hears a lot of cases, DUI cases, every cases, and she ruled on this one. We appealed it, and it was supposed to went up to a higher court, but somehow it was kicked back down in her court.
Well, here's part of the problem. You don't know how CPS works.
Oh yeah, we've been going through.
Now you do know how it works, but at the beginning you didn't. The first thing you did is you accepted a court-appointed attorney, which is a big major mistake. CPS hopes you take them. They hope you take them because they'll nail you. They will not fight for your case. They'll not fight for you. They're hired by CPS. They're paid by CPS.
They took her to Canada. They said they was building a new house. She would have her own room, and all we told our daughter we'd take her to the beach and stuff like that if we got her back, just like a mother and parent would.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. Your attorney has screwed. I mean, first of all, the Garden of Lightenham is somebody you don't want to check out. You don't want to listen to them. They're bad.
Yeah, I know that. She was trying to, I don't know what she's been saying to these lawyers, but one of them that I paid, I hired him, and he said, I can't, he said, I'm not going to take your money because this is when it first started. He said the judge, he talked to her, the judge did not want to let the kid move to Michigan. She's 13 years old. And he said she's better off than staying where she's at. They didn't want to let her move.
Well, what were the accusations? Were you neglect or abusive with your?
Yeah, neglect. It was somebody got mad over some land, and it was my nieces, and they made some false allegations, which we've got DCS line on stand. They committed perjury, but the judge just let them do whatever. We go to court, they tell their side, and pretty much we just get another court date. We went Tuesday, it got put off already to February the 5th. That's how long they put it off again.
Wow.
And I passed a hair follicle, everything for them.
Wow.
And we've done parenting classes, A&D assessment 3 times. Every time we finish everything, they say, start it over. We're starting the case over. How can they restart case over? I mean, every time we complete every class, they want to restart. Oh, we're restarting it over. That don't count. You got to do everything again. So now here we are doing everything again. Then they got to prove, they like we do a DNA or like we do any classes, they got to prove the classes and make sure they are legit.
Wow.
We're certified. Yeah, and I filed a motion too, because this judge, I said, I want a juvenile judge. I don't care what county we have to move to or bring one in, because this judge is biased. I mean, you can tell right off the bat. Even my lawyer, he said, I think it'd be best for us to separate, because he said, I can't do nothing. They won't let me do nothing. He's pretty much just told on them. He said, they won't let me do nothing. He said, I try to do something, they shut me down. He said, you see it in court, the lawyer can't even talk. It's like we go to court and we sit there and we listen to DCS, and we get another court date. Or we choose to try to, like they lied, the judge still here coming out and being professional and saying, where did these letters come from? They would have known that DCS gave them to her, because we had to send every letter we wrote her to DCS and let them spot check it before she could read them. And they held them for a year, then they gave them to her last month. And I guess it must have been brought up. Then she came in still asking, hey, where did the letters come from, and how did she get the letters? She's just going, hey, I'm going to I told you no contact. Don't you know what no contact is? I'm going to put you in bracelets and walk you out of this courtroom. And she gave us permission to do that, give her like a birthday card and stuff. But I don't know, this judge is like, she forgets, like I say, but she handles every kind of case that comes through the court, you know. And that's the reason I filed for remove her, try to get her removed and get another judge that is a juvenile judge.
Okay.
And that's the best way I know. If not, this judge is not giving it in. I don't know, she's got something against me or my lawyer. He said, I don't know what. He said, I do know what's going on. He said, you don't get no credit for your drug test. You don't get no credit for none of the classes you've done. He said, Scotty, I'm just going to, he said, I can't. He said, I just feel like I'm not doing you no good. And I said, well, they won't let you do nothing. I said, I never hear. I said, I said, you know good and well they've let them lie and commit perjury under oath. And nobody's called them out. Nobody's cross-examined them. I said, everybody just stays quiet and listen to what DCS says. And then we get another court date. And pretty much they're trying to adopt my daughter out. And they put it off. I'm pretty sure they're letting the foster parents get, they got to go through these classes too. And once they get their classes done, I believe we may lose her daughter. So we're doing everything I know to do.
Well, I guess your problem was in the beginning you could never afford a real attorney, could you?
Well, I did afford one, and he said the judge was not going to let the kids move. I had my son. They were saying that he didn't want to come around. Now he comes around us. He's of age now. He's 18. He comes. We see him all the time now. And since now she's the only one in there, and now they're saying that he's coming around, and we've been, he comes around where he takes pictures and do everything together. Now that he's 18, but we got my daughter. She's only 13, and like I said, they're doing everything. I've never seen DCS get by with so much, man. I've called Channel 13. I've called everybody on them.
And what did the news media do?
They didn't really do nothing.
Wow.
They just let it go over. I've called the White House. I've called Doge. I've called Pam.
Now you said you called Doge. Did you actually speak to someone at those two numbers?
No, they give me Pam Bondi's the DA, the attorney.
Yeah.
Pam, the DA, Pam Bondi.
Okay.
They give, and then you can give her an email, and then I've never never seen it. Everybody in the county said they'd never seen a case. We have to show proof of driver's license. We had to take a picture of her car, insurance, everything, and send in to them. Proof of work, check stubs, every medication, whatever you take, they want that. And we do exactly what they do. We're doing what they say, but it doesn't matter. You know, it's just like it's just like they're sending us, chasing us your tail, going in circles, you know. After we do everything we say, then it don't matter. We go to court, they don't even bring up nothing we've done. They don't want to see nothing. They don't want to hear nothing.
Wow. Huh.
I mean, it's crooked, and it's a small little town. That's the reason they're getting by with so much. We've been denied. We went to petition the court, like DCS told, and the guy at the courthouse said, you can't. And I said, that's their First Amendment. Your First Amendment to that free of speech, and you're allowed to petition any court. And he said, and I got him on tape. And he said, oh, I thought you was trying to crossfire. I said, we told you, BCS told us to come down here to petition the court. That's when he first started. And he wouldn't let us do it. And I said, you know what? You violated their First Amendment because you wouldn't let us petition the court. And he said, oh, I thought you was crossfiring. I said, no, we told you plainly what DCS told us to do. We came down here to ask you, and you wouldn't let us do it. And they don't even want our family members to get it. We have family members that's vice president of a hospital. She don't even want any money, and they won't even take her. And this, my daughter's aunt, they don't even want to take her in consideration because she lives out of state. Yeah, like she can't leave that county. You know, kids move every day. You know, families move every day.
Right.
You know. So I just thought I'd.
Whoops, we lost him. Let me try to get him back. Hold on. We lost.
Please leave your message for.
Hello, this is Bob Pace with the law offices of Vincent W. Davis doing my live stream tonight. And I was calling you back to see if you wanted to talk. You can reach me at 626-698-0990. Look forward to your call. Well, I don't think that was the gentleman, Rick. I thought it was. Excuse me. My phone
has been forwarded to 880-83468 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, this is the law office of Vincent Davis, Bob Pace on live stream. I think you were talking to me. I lost your call. You can call me back at 626-698-0990. Look forward to your call. Thank you. Okay, I was speaking to a gentleman named Rick, and I lost his call. If you can call back. Now, let me catch up with all my people that text in. Now, I have some new people I haven't heard from before. Michael Livingston. Let's be cautious in prayers for all our sons and daughters. Okay, here we go. I lost you.
On fire. It's not. She's just looking at one side. The judge should be open-minded when they come into the courtroom. They should go off what evidence and you know what you have done, what you completed. But she's not. And she just goes in there and listens to what lies DCS got to say, and she goes right with them. You can't beat DCS and government light and all of them when they're all against you. And I know it may seems like that can't be true, but it's very true. I'm not lying.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know you have a tough one, especially it's been 5 years. That's a long time.
And we have to travel 8-9 hour drive from Michigan to Tennessee, 600 miles each way, and we've probably been to court 4 times, and the people lives in the county. There's no, when we stand up to go up there, there's 4 or 5 DCS workers around us. Then the other, when you watch the court system, you'll see one DCS worker that's handling 4 and 5 different cases. But when we go up there, we've got 5 or 6 DCS workers, talking against us. We got them on tape. One of them said, "I don't care what they do." She told my uncle, "I don't care what they do. We're going to make sure they don't get their kids."
Wow.
And I filed a report.
Excuse me.
Filed a report against her.
Yeah.
That's unprofessional. She's only been on the case for 3 days. Once I filed that against her, she got moved. We've got this little girl, about 19 years old, and she's the same way. You can tell they've got her trained, just like the ones that got up there and lied under oath.
Well, do you know Erin's from Tennessee, and she was asking where you're located?
I'm in Cookville, Tennessee. It's Putnam County.
Okay, Erin, did you hear that? What county was it again?
It's called Cookville, Tennessee, or it could be Putnam County.
It's Cookville, Tennessee, Putnam County. Okay.
Yeah, and Putnam County. That's cool. Cookville, Tennessee.
Tennessee, Erin. Where are you located, Erin? I forgot. We have Michael Livingstone from Los Angeles, California, giving lots of prayers. And that was a nice. She said that Erin was just in Cookville the other day, home of Tennessee Tech. Well, Erin was just down there the other day.
Are, I'm telling you, man, they are. I'm not saying, but there's about 4 times or like the devil. That's the only thing I can see in them. When you get up there and lie under oath and lie to take your kid, I mean, that's pretty bad.
Well, Erin says that she's 5 hours east of Kingsport, Tennessee, near Bristol.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know where that is? Well, that's where Erin, and she's said they ended her termination of parental rights, which was awful. and she wasted money. The lawyer did nothing. She spent $16,000 on an attorney she hired for his retainer.
The doctor tried to, and just don't feel like I can handle your case anymore. And I thought, well, you held it out of court for a year, and we've lost another year, and you're giving up, you're just quitting. And she just quit. Just because on account of what the government lie, the government lie is something else. Yeah, I'm just trying to. I think you file a motion, a judge would almost have to step down when you got proof like we have against her. She should step aside and let another juvenile judge that should be listening to the case anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you think I'm doing that? I think that's the right thing to do, don't you, Bob?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm not going to waste your time and maybe somebody else wants
Okay.
to call in or something.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
thank you so much for calling in and listening. God bless you. And yeah. I know you have. I remember your voice. Yes, I do. Well, thank you for calling in, and God bless you. Right. Okay. All right. Well, stay in touch, and thank you for calling in. Bye-bye. Okay, my line is free again. I know it's 8 o'clock. My show usually ends at 8 o'clock, but you guys want to talk tonight, so I will call.
Hello?
Yeah, this is Bob Pace. You were just calling in. I'm with the live stream. Okay, that's right. Oh boy, I thought he was calling me again. There's his numbers. Okay. Anyway, I'm open up to anybody that wants to call. I know that Anna wanted to call me tonight. You can still call me, Anna. I'd love to hear from you. Here we go. There's another call coming in. Good evening. This is Bob Pace. Yes, it is. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to? Hey, Anna, I'm glad you called in finally.
YouTube. You just put in the search. There's actually a documentary. And by the way, especially if you're a former foster care child or parent that's lost your kid CPS, it will make you cry. But there's this documentary. It's called Removed. So you type in the search Removed, and it follows the story of this little girl and her little brother that's removed. It is from an abusive home. It's domestic violence. So the father's like abusing the mother and all this stuff. But it goes to, what foster kids go through, basically the removal. And then, a lot of times, which I've mentioned before, foster care or CPS will separate the siblings. And then, it goes through her journey of going in and out of foster homes and her acting out. And then there's also a part 2. So there's a part 1. So you'll find Removed, and then you watch that one, and then it should pop up in the algorithm. But if not, just put Removed documentary 2 or whatever. It's the second part. Second part is like the uplifting part. That's like her pulling through, coping, and up until her adulthood and stuff. So, but it's a really good little small documentary That it's so heartbreaking though, and it really showcases what foster kids go through, and the pain that we go through, and especially when you have a sibling that's separated from you or gets adopted out or whatever. And like one big thing that they kind of highlight or show, which is I mean, maybe not every foster kid has had this, but it's pretty well known, is that black trash bag. Like even I mentioned it when I was on the show. I said my mom had all my stuff in a big black trash bag. That's a lot of us kids. Like our stuff just gets thrown in this big old black trash bag, and we carry that bag or whatever. Usually it's a black trash bag around from home to home to home to home to home. And because we don't have a suitcase, we don't have anything, because we don't really have a forever home.
Is this is about Florida children?
This is about all. This is just foster care in general. It doesn't mention a state or anything. It just follows this little girl and her little baby brother, and she's trying to protect him, and they rip him away from her, and they separate the kids, put him into foster care, and so she's she's struggling, and so all the foster parents that she goes to, the homes she goes into, she of course acts out, because she's afraid, she's hurt, she's suffering, and every foster parent or home that she acts out in, they keep kicking her out, and I don't want to ruin the whole thing, but we'll say she does find a foster parent that actually cares. However, because of the corrupt system, there's some things that happen with her brother, her little baby brother, that happens to a lot of kids in the system. So I ruined the storyline for everybody. You just got to watch it. But it is a tearjerker for sure. But I wanted everybody to know about that because I stumbled across that documentary it's like 4 years ago or so, and then I didn't even know there was a part 2 until like a year ago, and then I watched that. That's the more uplifting one. That's like the better part of the whole documentary. But the first one is just super freaking sad.
It's about a 9-year-old girl navigating the foster system after being removed from abusive birth home. Is that the film?
Legally, it should be. But it's like she tries to stay for this, but then she's like, is it getting hurt? But then the little boy, they try to adopt him or whatever, and she's like fighting really hard for him to come home, but yet she's fighting. You're fighting hard for my baby brother, but not me. And that happens a lot, unfortunately. But
is that the hidden truth of foster care in America? Is that it? Okay, that is another one that I found is a documentary. The one with the blonde hair is another one down below. Let me pull that one up. Yeah, I have it. It's 12 minutes long. Okay. Well, then I'll look at it after my show. I can't do it to show him. Oh,
they separate these systems, right? It's not that they're removed. It's not that they're leaving their biological family, the only thing they know, and then it's like once they're in, it's like then, especially for the oldest sibling, they're trying to protect their younger siblings. That's all they have. And all they have is each other. And then CPS will go rip them apart and put them in separate homes or adopt the other siblings out. And it's like, it's horrible. And I'm actually I'm an only child, I found my sister late in life, but I grew up an only child. And even though I was technically an only child in the system, I never dealt with the separation of siblings. I saw too many times. I witnessed it for myself, these siblings that were in my home, same home, and then other homes, and they would separate them. in which I actually became an advocate at a very young age in my teenage years for siblings that are being separated. And one sibling, or foster sister I had in particular, she was separated from her younger sister, and I actually went to court on her behalf. Like, I begged my foster parents. I was like, please, let me go to court with you guys. You know, like, I want to fight for her and her sister. I was like, please, just, you know, because we have the space. I'm like, bring her here. Bring her here. You see how bad, I'll call her A. You see how bad A is separate? Like, she cries every night. Like, she cries herself to sleep. Do you understand? You guys see this? You know, and they got it. They understood. So they were trying to fight for her, but like, I told them, you know, I was like, let me be a witness, because I'm there right there with her, because we had bunk beds. We had the same room. So, like, I heard her cries every single night. It was so heart-wrenching to hear this, even me as just a child myself. So I actually went to court. I was able to go to court. The judge approved it, and I you know, witnessed on her behalf, and I said, please let her sister come to our home. You know, we have the space. There's no reason why she needs to be in another home. That's all they have, is just each other. And as you'll see in the documentary, which I don't want to spoil it, but what happens in the documentary at the end of it is it's pretty much the same situation as to what happened with the foster sister I had and her sister. So, you know, it was just a regular day, and all of a sudden these cars pull into the driveway. So we're looking, we're like, what's going on, you know? Then these people get out, and they look like CPS workers. So we're like, oh, CPS is here. Great. What do they want now? You know, so we're thinking one of us is going to get removed, you know, or leave the home. Like, great. Are they going to take us out, or what's going on, you know? So then all of a sudden, her sister gets out of the car. And I'm not start crying, but my foster sister, like, she screams. She's like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah.
she just ran. She just ran to her sister, and she ran to her sister and hugged her so hard that they fell into the lawn, into the yard, like on the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here and behind the blinds, just crying my eyes out. It was amazing, you know. But they were still in the system regardless, you know. But either way, they were reunited, and it just, you know, it was just a beautiful thing. But not all siblings are reunited. That's the thing. Some of them are adopted out, and either they never see each other again, or they, you know, reunite later on in life, but, you know, you can't get that time back. So, but yeah, I suggest that, you know, people, if people have never been or dealt with CPS or foster care, if you want to have an idea of what it's like to be a foster child or be introduced to what goes on in the system, yeah, watch this documentary, because it does a good job of, you know, expressing and showing, you know, what foster kids go through in the system, part 1 and part 2. So, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that with me, and I will definitely look at it. I'm glad you called me. I mean, this morning you told me you had an eye appointment, and then your boyfriend, I guess, didn't have a transportation for you, so hopefully you can still get your eye appointment done.
Yeah, I rescheduled.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you finally were able to call in and talk a little bit. Is there anything that you have a question about that I can help answer you?
You know, I did have a question earlier, but it's slipped my mind.
You'll think about it. You'll think about it. You'll think about it. You can text me. You can also email me too. But the best thing to communicate is between the hours of 8 in the morning and 1 o'clock Monday through Friday. Now I do my show at 10 o'clock on the weekdays, do my show at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then the evening shows. But the best way to text or email me is between the hours of 8 and 1, 8 in the morning and 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, to text me, you just do that number, 626-698-0990. Like you just text me, call with 434-426-0077 on 87 at 803. You wrote that in a text note to me. Well, it's kind of weird because on my display, the call that's live with you, it says call notes done. It said call with 344, excuse me, 434-426-0077 on August 7th at 2025 at 8:03. Yeah. 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 Now I do have an email. I do have an email that people can email me. Let me get my email here. I just put it on the screen. There's my email. Do you see it? P. Yeah. Yeah. It's the same format as when you email Grace. Grace at Vincent W. Davis. Mine is Bob P. Now, I wish I was a lawyer, but I have done work in lawyers in cases involving construction claims, but I'm not formally a lawyer. I have experience in construction claims. I also have 15 years of fighting CPS. I have my own case where I did have 3 of my children that were trafficked into foster care and abused, and I lost one of my child there. So I do have that experience. Also, I've talked to over 2,500 people from all parts of life all around the world, and so I have a lot of experience and I know what CPS could do. But it's so easy to look things up on the internet. It is so easy, just like you were sharing me about that YouTube to watch. Um, if you use the right format, my rule number 4, you can always find what you're looking for. It always starts off with the city, the state, and if you're outside the United States, you got to put the country. Then you put the letters CPS, all capital letters CPS, and then you can further clarify and put your question next. And 9 out of 10, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Oh, the AI chat, that you're talking about. It is excellent. It is excellent. It's something new. And Microsoft, the 365, has got a voice that will talk to you. Copilot, a voice will talk to you. It'll start to carry on a conversation with you. Yeah, I don't know about Gemini. Who produces Gemini? Oh, okay. There's also Erica with Bank of America. Let me try to think who else. Anyway, oh, I excellent. It's excellent. Yes, it is. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Your documents, your evidence, everything, whatever you go to it, and it will analyze everything, translate everything, and then tell you spit out and output exactly to the T so you can win your case. It'll give you statutes, laws, everything, even things to say like speeches and like the legal jargon terms and everything. It's amazing.
Aaron thinks that AI is terrifying. I know it's new and it can be terrifying, but long if you recognize that, when you talk to it, that you're not taking it wholeheartedly. But I do have to wrap up the show because I've been talking. I want to thank Aaron from Tennessee, Classical Mommy from Georgia, Parker from Georgia, Kamisha Anderson. Oh boy, I forgot where you're from. I think she's from Georgia too. We have a lot of people from Georgia tonight. Let me see who else we have here. Michael Livingston from Los Angeles, California. Thank you, Michael. Who else we had? We had Rick from Illinois, who talked to the phone before you did. And this is Anna Smith from Florida, who's talking tonight for the first time. She's wanted to talk for a long time. And who else am I forgetting about? I'm just going through all the people that have called in there. I want to thank you all for being part of my show. I think that's Cruella. Can't forget Cruella from Ventura, California, or Megan Tabitha from Los Angeles, California. Thank you all for calling in and being a part of this live stream. Whatever you do not forget to fight for your kids. That is important. Also, there'll be a brief video when I conclude. I'm going to have to sign off with Anna. Thank you very much for calling in, Anna from Florida. So this is Bob and Anna. Tell you guys good night, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. This is Bob and Anna signing off.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last one.